Hello, everyone. Take two. I'm still getting used to having individual sliders and stuff. I really need to get just a little 6 channel or 4 channel soundboard to run my stuff through because that would make life a whole lot easier. But welcome to another night of streaming. I know we normally stream Cyberpunk and Cyberpunk style games on Mondays, but last week we had a little bit of trouble. Um, and thank you for saying goodbye, Krista. Love having you here. Hey yo! Um, we had a little bit of trouble with Cyberpunk not wanting to run, so we started Stray Gods. And since we started it, we've got to finish it, right? I mean, that's kind of how it works. So let's get rolling. Now, on the last one, if you recall, we got blamed for the death of a muse, which wasn't really our fault. She just kind of died in our arms, and we've been investigating what happened to her because we were given her powers, but the rest of the folks weren't so happy about that. So we had to go out and do some investigating, and we are down to just a couple options now. Um, we have some suspects. We're not really sure who it would be, but we're hoping we can figure it out because we have 3 more days, and then the decision will be made by the council, the chorus of gods, as it were. Um, we've been trying to play nice with Persephone, so let's go ahead up there and talk to her a little bit.
I didn't realize come by any time would be taken so literally, Grace. Something specific on your mind?
Ooh, well, let's start with Calliope.
Tell me more about Calliope. You and her were good friends, right?
We were.
And?
And if you had told me a decade ago that I would become close to one of the muses, I would have laughed in your face. I always considered them Apollo's creatures. Calliope, Clio, and Talia. Vapid, frivolous gods who handed off their eidolon to any artist who took their fancy. Every time I met one of them, they were someone else. Apollo called them the Sisters of Beauty, no matter their gender. Can you imagine that? That's such a stupid name.
I never thought of that. Do idols change gender a lot?
Well, we tend to seek out successors like ourselves, but it happens. With the muses, it happened frequently. Everywhere Apollo went, they surrounded him like a gaggle of ducklings, just like him to gather his own fans.
Well, then if you didn't like them,
If
how
you
did you end
disliked
up?
the muses so much, how did you end up becoming friends with Calliope?
Well, she sought me out. She'd become more and more unhappy on Olympus, so she decided to leave just as I had, long before. Calliope asked for my help, and I laughed in her face. Go ask one of your sycophant mortals, I told her. I mean, surely one of them has some threadbare couch you can sleep on.
Wow.
Typically, she was undeterred. She didn't just want a place to stay. She said she wanted to learn how to be truly independent from an idol who had mastered it. Hmm? What can I say? I mean, I am a sucker for a well-timed compliment. I took her in. Apollo was furious. He and Calliope were barely speaking, but he was certain she'd come crawling back to Olympus. Oh, it made taking her in all the sweeter.
Of course it did. So let's finish this thread, I guess.
After you took Calliope in, that's when you became friends?
Oh, no, not right away. I wasn't looking for a friend. What I was looking for was an opening act in the club. Calliope entertained here for years, and then eventually turned from performing to attracting new acts. She was in her element. She and I, we warmed up to each other eventually. She was more capable than I expected, and I adored her furious rants.
Calliope didn't seem like the furious type when I met her. That's hard to picture.
Oh, then you didn't really meet her. She was an idealist, and nobody could ever quite live up to her standards for very long. Her brothers and sisters, least of all. The idols needed to change, she said. They were withering away in the shadows, diminished and unwilling to save their own skins. When I joined the chorus, she expected me to change everything, as if I could single-handedly override Athena. I was to be her champion, and together we would bring revolution to the idols. Well, I was yet another disappointment. She left the club, but I gave her a place to live. We were supposed to stay in touch, but you know how it went from there.
Well, let's learn about Calliope's history and Persephone.
Are you willing to talk about Hades? If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm just...
Incredibly curious how I ended up murdering my husband.
that, yeah.
You know, one might think that my hatred of Hades began when he kidnapped me and forced me to be his bride. But honestly, that wasn't it. I hated my brothers and sisters for letting it happen, but Hades himself terrified me. He had a presence. I mean, one that forever made him the most important man in the room. And me? Oh, I was nothing in comparison. When Hades began doting on me, trying to earn my favor, I swooned that he might deign to think of me that way. For centuries, I actually thought I was in love, that the kidnapping was the best thing that ever happened to me. It's funny how our perspectives change.
If you got along with Hades for so long, what changed?
I did. I grew up. I was a trophy for Hades, a conquest that he expected to remain meek and unchanging forever. He went out of his way to keep me small. I slowly realized that, he'd always been that way. Manipulation and arrogance behind the handsome sneer. We battled for centuries. I hated him, and I told him so, but he refused to part with me. He declared that I was his and would stay in the underworld where I belonged.
And that's when you killed him?
That's when I killed him, yes. The first time one idol had ever murdered another. Thank you very much.
I'm guessing the other idols weren't thrilled with you killing Hades.
Well, yeah, they didn't know what to do with me. And Athena was furious that the most powerful remaining idol had been lost. See, this was before the war and before all the new rules. The chorus had never once contemplated execution, but they certainly considered it then. In the end, they decided it was better to humiliate me. They ensured I did not benefit from Hades' murder, and stripped the throne I had wrested from his grasp.
Which you weren't happy about.
I asked them where they were all those years while I pleaded for help. I was held captive, and what was I expected to do? Would lie down and take it forever because Hades was more useful to them alive? No. I stopped doing what was expected of me the day I slit his throat. May he rot in Tartarus with the Titans for all eternity.
So, okay, Queen of the Underworld to nightclub. How's that go?
How did you go from ruling the underworld to opening a nightclub named after it?
Go Grace, you and me.
I won it in a
baby.
bet with Dionysus, god of merriment.
Okay, there has to be a story there.
Well, the story is that he was a fool, but a charming one with many patrons. They built him a nightclub as his personal playground. And it was a grand old time for Dionysus in the 1970s, I assure you, but he didn't know how to run a business. By the time disco was ready to die, so was his stupid club. So I offered to make it profitable. If I succeeded, he would turn ownership over to me. He accepted because, frankly, all he wanted to do was drink anyhow. I was successful. The club became mine, and I kicked Dionysus out for never paying his tab.
Sucks to be him.
Dionysus ever sobers up, he might decide to be sore about it, but so far that hasn't happened.
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
What constitutes a little more in this instance?
Well, what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
Ah, the big question. To which the answer is, nobody knows. I remember the original Persephone only vaguely. Indeed, I'm not even certain she was the original. I mean, was there something before her? How did she get her idol on? I couldn't tell you. Evidently, we wrote little down in those early days, or were forbidden to, and our memories only stretch back so far. Anything beyond that simply isn't.
Psst. Isn't it strange to not know where you come from? For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
Aliens? Grace, you watch too many movies.
Gods are okay, but aliens are just wacky fiction.
Fine, yes. It is strange. No, our earliest days aren't the only blanks in our memories, however. We have many. And the last was the day Zeus called us all together to tell us Rome had fallen and we should prepare for war. But did that war occur? I couldn't tell you. The last thing I remember after Rome was 1,000 years later, in the 16th century. I was in a different body, feeling as if no time at all had passed. Athena calls that period the gap. And that's what it feels like. All of us experienced it, and not one of us knows why or how.
The gap you mentioned. What was that like? Did you just wake up one day, or...
I wasn't asleep. I lived. I had lives. I passed on my eidolon. I may have known who I was and what I was, but perhaps I was completely unaware. All I know is that one day, Athena came to my nunnery, near Trieste, I think. The moment that I saw her, all the old memories came flooding back. My life during the gap was wiped away in an instant, and it never returned. If someone did that to us, they were powerful indeed.
What about Athena? I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must have been aware.
Athena woke up on her own, or so she claims, and spent the next century rounding up those idols who remained. Zeus, however, was gone. What became of him, what happened in Rome, we've never pieced it together. It's troubling.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around.
Oh, yes, that's where I'll be. Around.
Huh. Well then. You know what? Let's go talk to her again, see what happens.
I didn't realize come by any time would be taken so literally, Grace.
Wait, you already
Something
said this
specific
to
on
me.
your mind?
No, not really. I'll see you later, Persephone.
Oh. Okay. Well, I guess we go to Aphrodite's party. Hold on one second. Excuse me. Okay. Let's go to the party.
Fancy party? Check. Bunch of strangers? Check. Grace totally not dressed for the occasion? Check. Now, if only I knew what I was supposed to be doing here.
Grace? You're here.
Yeah, I'm invited, aren't I?
I'm just surprised you even knew it was happening.
Persephone said I should come to this. Whatever this is.
Persephone didn't tell you? Why am I not surprised?
I came to see you, Apollo, and I don't recall you mentioning it. Persephone said it could help.
You don't have any of Calliope's memories, right? No deja vu recollections that aren't your own?
No. Should I have?
Not right away. For a while, you won't remember anything. We call it the veil. In time, the veil will start to lift, slowly at first, but eventually you'll remember almost everything Calliope did.
That's gotta be a lot of memories. She was, what, 1,000 years old?
More than that. Much more.
Then what happens to me in my piddly 20-something years? It can't be good.
Eventually, it's like a flood. It becomes difficult to separate what's you and what's them, and all who came before them.
You're saying I won't be me. I won't be Grace. Will I start calling myself Calliope?
Maybe. Eventually, most of us do, but most of us were chosen and prepared.
And I didn't choose this.
I understand. Take some time to let it sink in. If you like, we can talk about it later.
What does this have to do with the party?
Aphrodite hasn't been the same since we came to the New World. She has horrific memories of what she endured during the war. Passing on her Eidolon is a way to forget, for a while. That's what this party is for.
When you say she's gonna pass on her Eidolon, you mean...
She's going to die, yes, and pass her soul on to a chosen successor.
in front of everyone?
We're here to help, Grace. To make it easier for Aphrodite to do what she feels she must. We're here to say goodbye. At least for a while.
I don't know, Apollo. I don't like the whole idea.
You want her help, don't you?
Yes, but...
At least speak with Aphrodite before you make a final decision. She's not here just yet. Until she arrives, I suggest mingling.
Yeah.
Mingling.
Yeah, mingling.
Yeah, mingling. Talk to Eros. Or we can talk more if you like. Just
Nah,
try to relax, Grace.
I don't
Sure,
really,
yeah.
I don't really
Relax.
like Apollo.
That's what this party is for, right?
Let's go talk to Eros. See how he's doing.
Grace.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Eros. Nice to...
Aww.
Oh. Okay.
Aphrodite will be so happy you're here. It means so much you have no idea.
You okay, buddy?
Are you okay? You seem a bit...
Every time she does this, I don't know how to handle it. I almost want to run upstairs and demand she stop. Remind her that this never works. Sorry, I shouldn't unload on you. It's been a bad week.
Before we keep going, guys, I should let you know, content warning, this entire party deals with self-harm, suicide, and some pretty awful things that have happened in Aphrodite's past. So please don't hang out here. And I know that's a weird thing to say, but don't hang out here if you are struggling yourself. Please know that there are resources and people here for you if you are struggling. And there are people who value you, and it may not feel like it. It may be hard to see that. But from my own experience, I'm glad I'm still here.
From the sounds of it, this happens a lot.
Every 20 years or so. That's how long she can hold out until she just can't stand it anymore. Every time, Aphrodite forgets. At least for a while. But I don't. I remember everything. I'm there for the nightmares, the panic attacks, the days she doesn't even remember the war's over. And now I'm arranging her gathering again, so she can die again. And I'll watch it all again.
Is there no other way? Does Aphrodite really need to...
To die? I've asked that so many times. She's tried magic, drugs, psychotherapy, meditation, everything we could possibly think of. For a while, she'll deny anything's wrong. It all seems fine, and I start to hope. Maybe this time will be different. Then the nightmares begin, and the memories return. More with each passing day until... I hate it, but I see her agony. I can't deny her this.
Maybe I just don't understand, but... Isn't this... like suicide?
Some of the idols have committed suicide. They let themselves die without passing on their eidolon.
What happens?
What you'd expect. They're gone. Forever. Mother says she can't do that. She won't. Not until she sees Hephaestus again, I suspect. Not that what's happening here is anything casual. She still has to die for a while.
Is it okay if I ask what happened? I don't mean to pry, but I'm new. I really don't know.
I know, but it happened to Aphrodite, not me. It's not my story to tell.
If I knew what she was dealing with, I might be able to help.
Could you? I suppose it wouldn't hurt. What happened is that Brother Ares happened. He missed out on the first world-spanning war, you see, so he was damned if he'd miss out on the next one. He found some jackbooted mortals so full of themselves and their supremacy, and he told them about the idols. Then they came for us. Took us completely by surprise. Some they killed, but Aphrodite, her they captured.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Aphrodite was captured, but she's here now. So she must have escaped.
She didn't. Do you know the name Hephaestus?
Wasn't he a smith of some kind? Giant hammer, lived in a mountain?
Some of that is mortal fancy, but yes. He was Aphrodite's husband, and he adored her beyond reason. When he found out the mortals were torturing her, he went mad. He was determined to save her.
Wait, they tortured her?
Nothing extreme, I'm told. They were too frightened, but they were also determined to wring every last secret out of her. So, who knows how long that fear would have lasted. Thus, Hephaestus made a deal.
With the, jackbooted guys.
No, with their enemies. That's what saved her.
Then this deal is how Aphrodite survived.
It's how we all survived. It's what brought us to the new world. Hephaestus saved us all. We never saw him again. That was the deal. He would leave, make their precious weapons, and never look back. Aphrodite never even got to say goodbye. It's funny, because Aphrodite didn't even like Hephaestus when they were married. She seemed to resent every minute they were together. But now he's all she can think about.
Maybe I shouldn't ask, but is there any way to change Aphrodite's mind?
You say that as if I haven't tried. If only... She'll ask you to use your power as part of the celebration. Could you use it to inspire her?
I can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to, Eros.
That's not what I'm asking. I believe that, deep down, she doesn't want to do this any longer. She must see it isn't working. She just needs the strength to try. Or I hope that's all she needs.
I'll try, if you think it'll do some good.
I don't know if it will. I just find it hard to believe it could get any worse.
Famous last words.
Tell me about it. Do whatever you think is right, Grace. And thank you.
I love him so much. Okay, let's go talk to Apollo, our least favorite idol.
I know all these people, Grace. For as long as I can remember, I've known them. Yet sometimes I feel like I don't know any of them at all. Or they me.
I spoke to Eros. He's pretty broken up over all this.
Oh, poor Eros. Each new successor, his hopes rise up once more. And then he watches the new Aphrodite crumble, piece by piece, only to start all over again. It's so different from the olden days. Once he was the eternal disaster, and Aphrodite kept constant vigil over him.
Maybe he feels like he owes her.
I think he's followed her into a dark void, and somewhere, deep down, believes he deserves no better.
You don't enjoy these family gatherings, do you?
Are they family gatherings? Like the sort mortals have?
You call each other sister and brother and mother.
Well, yes, but...
And you've been together like 100 times longer than I lived with my family. All you're missing is a drunk uncle everyone has to apologize for.
That would be Pan. But yes, I feel very much out of place.
That's kind of sad.
What is?
Spending an eternity among people you can't even stand to be with at a party.
Well, now I need another drink.
I should get back out there.
Well, here we go. This choice actually changes who, the big musical number rather, changes who's around for the final numbers, as it were. We're gonna try and save. We're gonna try and save her.
My family. Having you all here, gathered once again to see me off, it moves me. More than I can say. My loves, my darlings, my dearest friends. And you. Oh, my dear sweet thing. I dare not hope that you, with all your troubles, might sing me to my sleep. Yet here you are. Yet here she is. Huh.
It's lovely to meet you, Aphrodite. Properly, this time.
Ah, yes. Poor Calliope. Such a loss to us all. I shall miss her dearly. To have come so far, only... No, it doesn't bear thinking about. It's too much.
Is this Grace, my lady? The new muse?
Oh, what manners I have. Grace, Grace, meet the lovely mortal woman who shall tonight become the new me.
Hi, my name's Venus, and yes, it really is Venus. Nice to meet you, Grace.
Oh, those other ones seem a little prying, so we'll save it
Yeah,
for
hi. Nice to meet you.
We'll both be new
Aphrodite.
at this, huh? Maybe we could get together and compare notes if you,
Survived my trial?
Yeah. Lady Aphrodite told me. I shouldn't have brought that up. I'm sorry.
There will be so much time for you lovelies to speak later. Now, we must prepare for my departure.
I was hoping I could talk you out of it, actually.
Oh,
Forgive my saying so, but you seem fine.
yes, it might seem that way. Well, tell me, Grace, why should I let you try to talk me out of this, hmm?
You must know this isn't working. How many times have you done this? Has it gotten any better?
Better. I do not remember what better feels like. I remember many things. I remember virtue, heroism, even love. All of it eclipsed by the memories of pain. But tonight is not about becoming better. It's about respite from the pain. And honoring the memory of what was. Go, enjoy the gathering, Grace. Tell me when you're ready to begin.
Like I mentioned, guys, this is some real heavy subject matter, and I want you to take care of yourselves. So if you are not in a stable place for yourself, please switch to someone else's channel that's going to have a bit more cheerful content. If you wanted to come back, this will be over in just a few minutes here, but there are resources and you are worth it.
I want to apologize again, Grace. I really messed up. It looks like I'll be doing that a lot. Lady Aphrodite said I'm ready, but I don't know.
Having second thoughts? If so, now's probably the time to mention it.
I would never do that to Lady Aphrodite. I'm just nervous.
That's understandable.
If I can ask, what does it feel like after it happens? Do you feel different?
I was so scared at the time, I didn't know what to think. I had no idea who Calliope really was.
You didn't remember anything? About her? Who she was? She was just gone?
Yeah. Isn't that the point of all this?
I just wanted to be sure. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it could be real.
How do you know Aphrodite exactly?
So I was working at this homeless shelter, right? A couple of years ago, and she came in with one of the older residents. And she was there in this, like, amazing dress. And she's sitting with this guy and really listening to him. Like, they were old friends or something. I just thought, what is someone like her doing in a place like this? So, I just went over and introduced myself.
That's it? Just like that.
Yeah. She came back to the shelter a few times, but by then, I guess she's taken an interest in me instead.
Are you really okay with all this? You know what's gonna happen, right?
I saw a lot of people in crisis at the shelter. I knew something was wrong with Lady Aphrodite. She's in so much pain, Grace. She won't let you see how much. Eros called me one night desperate. She wouldn't stop screaming. She didn't know where she was. She's a good person, Grace. A good soul. She deserves mercy.
You probably need to get ready. I shouldn't keep you.
No, this is Lady Aphrodite's big night, not mine.
It'll be yours later, won't it?
Yeah, I guess it will.
Welp. Here we go.
I have tried so hard, fought for so long, but in the end, I must bid you all farewell once again. But before I go, I would like us all to remember the sacrifices that brought us here to this strange new world. This time, it is with the help of our lovely muse that we shall be guided. We let them rise. We let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. Since the beginning we were hidden. We held court from up above. 'Twas the golden age of reason, and I the queen of love. But a plague of hate was spreading, and there were vultures standing by. Before we fell to our knees begging, we fell from the sky. We let them rise, we let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong. Our so-called brother Ares sold his soul forevermore. He so loved the military, he became their dog of war. He denounced his loving family, and with mortal guns and greed, on a plate gladly delivered everything that war dogs need. He betrayed us and we let him, and with their mortal souls long gone, we thought we were untouchable. We were wrong, we were wrong. I can feel we have the vigor of an idol coming in. Be wary as they find you to entail you limb from them. Torture you and spit at you, parade you in a square. I thought my life was over. Then a God answered my prayer. The man that I ignored saved me when I fell. Yes, the husband I abhorred rescued me from hell. I thought it was a joke when it was said to me, he struck a deal with our enemy's enemy. a secret weapon, so my captors let me go. He gave up his freedom, leaving just a memory. And this love I'll never know is what he gave to me.
I gotta say that I'm amazed I held my tongue for so long. Not such a fan of this old plan, but who's to say that you're wrong? Now should I gotta erase a memory when there's no chance of changing history? This guy that sacrificed his life so you can live in his place. Wish he'd drop by, cause man, I'd die to see the look on his face. You try to hide from your reality, but then come back with regularity. And if you notice a disparity, then what's the meaning of his legacy? Everybody. Who gives a damn about your suffering? Everybody. Who wants to see you be yourself again? Everybody. Who feels your pain in case you're wondering? Everybody. You got the time, but it's the stuttering. Everybody wants to see you fall in love.
Your face, so let me give you a hand. An idol should embrace the things they don't understand. And you don't get it. My mind's a falling city, buildings crumbling down. What is more, the pity, all I hear is the sound. Bombs blanketing the ground, a screaming so profound. And you want to play around. Will you offend? Everybody is insulted by your acrimony. Everybody wants to wallow in my testimony. Everybody. So who is ready for the ceremony? Everybody. I'll be siding with the everybody.
Everybody wants to see you fall in love. I never thought you'd let it get this way. I've stood by watching what we've built decay. We're just pretending that the ending is near. Mother, isn't it clear? Your family's here. Everybody can see the agony you're going through. Everybody knows the goddess is inside of you. Everybody keeps repeating what they're meant to do. Everybody, I've got to stop it just to prove to you. Everybody wants to see you fall in love.
Everybody who's gonna help me overcome the war. Everybody who's gonna be there when I'm on the floor. Everybody who's gonna cry when I walk out the door. Everybody, cause I'm not gonna do this anymore. Everybody wants to see you, wants to see you fall in love again.
Mother, is it true? You've chosen to...
Live. I have chosen to live. I'm so sorry, Venus. I made you so many promises, dearest, and I won't be able to keep them.
My lady, all I ever wanted was for you to be happy. If this is your wish, I'll be with you at every step.
I as well. Always.
I hope none of us regret this choice in the days to come. But thank you.
It has to be better than doing the same thing over and over.
Does it? It could also be far worse.
Don't talk like that, Mother. We can fight this.
I'm so very tired, my loves, but I will. I'll try. Now then, Grace. Apollo tells me you needed my help. No doubt regarding Calliope's death? Have you any suspicions as to who might be responsible?
Yeah, actually.
Not exactly, but it has to be an idol. One with influence.
Oh? What makes you think that?
It had to be someone who knew Calliope and wanted her gone, with enough knowledge and power to fool the chorus. It also had to be someone who could get into the reliquary and attack her there, right under the noses of both Hecate and the Minotaur.
Calliope came to see us that night. She was agitated, frightened even, but she wouldn't explain why.
She said she had a plan. That must have been the reliquary.
Wait, you saw her? Why wasn't this mentioned earlier?
Well, we knew something was wrong. We were concerned, but not enough to intervene. If only we'd known she intended to go to the reliquary. How on earth did she even get in?
She used the key, the one Pan gave her.
Ha!
When Calliope arrived, she dropped it. Then she laughed and said she'd better not lose it because Pan won't give me another key to the reliquary. I didn't know it was important.
Well, there's your help, Grace. I can't give you any better.
Come now, Mother. It's time you rested. It's been a long night.
If I don't, I suppose you'll both gang up on me again. Very well.
So, did they have anything helpful?
I'm not sure. He might have an explanation for this. Again.
He has a way of making things seem reasonable, it's true, but that doesn't make him a villain.
I guess. Aren't you the one who first said he was probably guilty?
Worth investigating still. Are you all right, Grace? You seem troubled.
What you said earlier about Calliope's memories coming back.
That wasn't how I wanted you to find out. I'm sorry. If I might suggest, speak with Persephone about it when you get a chance. It might be good for you.
You think she could help? Persephone?
Persephone and I have our problems, but I can't deny she is insightful. She'll surprise you.
I might do that. Thanks.
So, I have a question.
Okay.
I know you're angry with Pan, but I also noticed something in how you speak of him. Am I correct in believing there's something there?
I really don't get him. Hot one minute, cold the next. You can never tell where he stands on anything.
It's none of my business, but no matter what I've said of Pan, his feelings run deep.
Oh.
Don't underestimate him, but also don't write him off. Not yet, anyhow. Give my regards to Persephone when you see her.
Apollo. Always so dramatic. And well done, by the way. You may be the very first person ever to talk sense into Aphrodite.
I still don't know if I did the right thing.
Well, it was never up to you, Grace. The choice has always been Aphrodite's. Look at it this way. At least she has a chance now. Whether she uses it, we'll see. I remember the last time I passed on my Eidolon. 1952. I was married to, well, I'd say you'd call him a gangster. More of a thug, A mean, vicious little thug. Persephone saved me from him. Tore his head clean off. But not before he fired a shotgun into her chest. My chest? Whatever.
Oh, well, that sounds awful.
It was. Though not as awful as being his wife. We all have our sordid history, our personal horrors, building up like sediment around our souls. You can't let it bury you, Grace. You are the only one who can keep your head afloat.
You're incredible. You know that?
There's no need to be facetious, Grace.
No, really.
And what of Pan? Is he also incredible?
What he is incredibly frustrating and nothing at all like you.
I am incredible. It's true. It's good that you recognize this.
Okay, I take it back.
Oh, you can't take it back, Grace. I would have thought you'd learned that by now.
After centuries of cruel injustice, everybody working against me, every idol but for one, violent with apathy. We couldn't reach a resolution, but you and I, I'm queen of the underworld, and you, Grace, something seems familiar about you. Have we met some lifetime ago? Gods like me don't have too much to hope for. The rules been fixed throughout the ages. So I have forged a daring path. I would like to make some changes. You see, we can win a revolution. You and I. I'm queen of the underworld, and you, Grace, you are a queen. You're old, your dominion, and in my opinion, you're on the right track. It sounds like they hurt you, defied, or usurped you. It's time that you kick them right back. You've got one big mouth on you, don't you? Yet it's me who's closing in. Think I like that mouth on you, won't you? You've overstayed your welcome. Time to go home. Get out of here, Grace.
Oh. No, I don't wanna.
Oh, hi, Grace. I can just call you Grace, right?
That's my name. Where's Freddie?
She went out to get snacks. We were gonna watch TV while we waited, but, well, here you are.
What, you and Freddie are friends now? When did this happen?
When I came looking for you. Freddie has this movie that I've never seen. Super cool, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, would you rather not share your mortal friends? Anyway, I guess Athena wants to talk? I can zip us over to Olympus anytime, if you're free.
Do I have a choice about seeing Athena? I'm not in the habit of being at anyone's beck and call.
I mean, I guess you could say no, but I wouldn't. If Athena wants something, she's gonna get it eventually. She had that look in her eyes, like she really wants to talk to you.
She could always come here. Everyone else does.
Athena entered the mortal world? And now she doesn't do that ever. Can you imagine?
How does Athena manage never entering the mortal world?
She doesn't have to, I guess. Everyone brings her everything she needs. And that creepy owl of hers? Apollo says it's her eyes out in the world. It's everywhere. Watching.
So what, she just never leaves the building?
She'll go to the reliquary and places like that. Just never where mortals are. She wears a toga and calls cars iron horses.
Well,
I suppose there's no point in putting it off. Do your thing. Take me to Olympus.
Okay. Oh, when you see Freddie, tell her I'm sorry I couldn't stick around for the movie. And mind if I say something?
Sure.
You've changed. I mean, from the person I met when I first came here. When, you know, you got it together really quick.
Thanks, I guess.
well, we're already clever. I think we're gonna go clever and charming.
There you are, Grace. Do have a seat.
I prefer to stand, thanks.
Yeah, great.
As you like. You've certainly been busy, haven't you? Everywhere I turn, there you are. Including the reliquary.
Oh,
I'm uncertain how you got access, but even you must have realized it's off limits. Particularly for your mortal friend.
but you know what happened there. That's where Calliope was attacked.
Yet it's not where she died, Grace, is it?
So because she made it all the way to my apartment, we shouldn't care why she was bleeding to death along the way.
You think our judgment was rash? It was. In truth, I worried that giving you time, letting us all get to know you, would make it harder in the end. I am sorry, Grace. You may not believe it, but I care deeply. I care about what happens to you and to all the idols.
Do you really? Let's explore where all that caring has gotten them, shall we? You're holding on with a grip so tight, your knuckles are turning white. But that's not enough, is it? Every idol I've met is either lost or broken, or both. They're all slipping through your fingers. If you actually cared about them, you'd do something about it instead of sitting up here worrying about your precious rules.
Zeus was the first to leave. King of the gods. And we don't even know what became of him. Vanished into the ether. Poseidon was next. Walked out into the seas, never to be heard from again. Ares betrayed us. Hephaestus saved us. Hades was murdered. And by one of our own. The list
goes on.
So you add to it. I show up and you kill me off because you can't be too careful.
We are dying, Grace. I don't mean diminishing or drifting apart. I mean, our immortality is disappearing. Very soon now, the idols will be no more. We are a legacy that spans millennia, dating back to the very dawn of humankind. So yes, I care. I will do anything and everything in my power to avoid that fate, even if it appears unfair.
You know, it's too bad. I've been an idol for 5 minutes, and I've been out there solving problems you've all wrestled with for how long now? I could have helped you, Athena. I could have helped all of you. But you don't see that, do you? You're so busy holding on to what you have. You can't see what you're throwing away.
I know we've put a great deal on your shoulders, Grace. I do. All I called you here to ask is that you please not make my job more difficult than it already is. If you have any other questions or concerns, now's the time to bring them up.
All right, let's talk about Medusa.
Met her, have you?
Is it true you can't remove her curse? Or is she just too useful?
I wish I could remove the curse. I'm afraid the Athena who bestowed it is long gone. She was prideful, that Athena. As prideful as she was powerful, I'm ashamed to say.
The current Athena is responsible for everything she's done.
I am well aware, Grace. What is it that you would have me do exactly?
How about you stop treating her like a servant? Maybe send her somewhere she won't be tempted all the time.
Oh, well, if you happen to hear of a diet camp for man-eating monsters, by all means, do let me know. Now, if there isn't anything else?
Who has access to the reliquary? Is it anyone with a key, or...
Doesn't matter. You gained access, so clearly it is not difficult to get. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'll tell me who gave you that key.
Yeah, no.
The same person gave it to me, who gave it to Calliope.
And who gave it to Calliope then?
Well, that's not a me problem now, is it?
I see.
Speaking of the reliquary, you went there, right? Once Hecate told you what happened?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the delay.
If you had known about that, the night Calliope died, would it have made a difference?
The chances are exceedingly small that you attacked her there, it's true. Yet, Calliope was weakened, which made her more vulnerable prey for an enterprising mortal.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
One she knew. Perhaps the incidents are connected, perhaps not. I cannot afford the risk of uncertainty, Grace. I'm sorry.
You know what? Screw you.
I guess I'll get back to my investigation.
I am rooting for you, Grace. If there's another way to resolve this, any way at all, I will take it.
Will you? Really?
Good luck. Feel free to take a cookie on your way out.
I don't like her at all. Not even a little bit. Nope.
Don't take it personally, Grace. Athena's first instinct is to follow the rules whenever things get rough. As if she believes that if the idols don't blindly follow every rule to the letter, we'll dissolve into utter chaos.
Well, is she right?
Probably.
Do you think she's telling the truth about the idols dying out?
I'm not sure. I mean, if it is true, why hasn't she told the rest of the chorus?
It sounds like she doesn't trust you.
Well, the feeling is mutual. At any rate, I'm afraid we're going to have to disappoint her again.
Yeah, let's do it.
What now?
You need to go back to the reliquary, Grace.
Okay.
Let me guess. to figure out why Calliope went there in the first place.
Exactly.
It's the only piece of the puzzle we're missing. Calliope went there because she had a plan. But what plan?
If she left clues behind, wouldn't Hecate have found them already?
That's a really good question.
We can't ask Calliope what her plan was. But you might be able to remember what she was doing there.
Her memories? But I thought...
That it will take years, yes. But if you go somewhere important to Calliope, or touch something special to her, you'll get flashes, feelings.
Do you want Grace to go to the reliquary so she can have deja vu?
I'm willing to wager the place Calliope met her fate has left its mark in Grace's psyche. We have only to uncover it.
Well,
Last time Freddy and I were there, Hecate wouldn't let us into the reliquary. Not without Athena's permission.
I'm certainly not suggesting we ask Athena for permission.
Then you mean...
A week ago, I would have said breaking into the reliquary was impossible. Yet it appears Hecate can be surprised. If her book says she will be.
Let's hope the book says that again, I guess.
Unless you've some other plan. I'm all ears, as they say.
well,
Right
do
then.
it.
Back to the reliquary it is.
Any idea how you want to do this, Grace? Because I'm game to help.
Cool. I'm sure we can figure something out.
I can't go in with you. Hecate would sense me right away. I will, however, stay close by. If anything happens, I'll come. Hecate won't stop me. The Minotaur won't stop me. Nothing will.
That's great to know, but I'll try not to make it necessary.
Ugh, can we just get on with this already?
Well, let's go in the back way. We don't want to... We don't want to, throw all our chips in the pot, as it
Wait,
were.
are you sure this is right? Was that the right door?
You're asking me like I'm supposed to know?
It just feels like we're back outside again. Maybe that was some kind of portal or...
Or maybe we're right where we're supposed to be.
This place, it's amazing. Is this all inside the tower?
Bigger on the
How
inside.
can that be?
Says the last of the muses, standing in the demiplane, probably created by the goddess of witchcraft.
How do we avoid getting lost? It's like a labyrinth.
Oh, it is a labyrinth, but I've never had any trouble finding my way around. Hey, easy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, no need to freak out. I'm a guardian, sure, but I'm not a monster. But, yeah, you know you're not supposed to be in here, right?
I need this, Asterion. I have to figure out what Calliope did here. Please, can't you just let us look around?
Oh, it's just... Kate would be so mad.
She knows you're the sweetest, most thoughtful bullman there is. She'd understand.
I want to, but...
I'd really appreciate it.
I need to bring you back to Kate. I'm so sorry. Oh no. Hey, come back! Oi, come back!
Okay. I don't hear anything. I think I'm all right. I hope Freddy's okay. She better be. First things first, how do I do this? Where do I even start? Calliope must have been here. She could have stood in this very spot. Maybe if I just... focus. It's weird, like, I've definitely been here before. Is that a weapon? A musical instrument? Maybe it's both. Is this an armory, too? What did Freddy say about mazes? Was it always go left? Or go left and then go right? I don't even know what language that is. This is it. Calliope was here. She was standing right here. And she... Uh-oh. I don't suppose there's any chance you'll put those knives away.
Hello?
Okay, then. What's happening? Why didn't it work?
Oh, that's not good.
Oh! Grace? Freddy! We've got to run! My powers don't work on them, they just keep coming! No, I won't let you! Freddy! Oh God. Oh God, Freddy. By the gods. You summoned the Furies. What? Those beings were the Furies. Beyond all our laws. Not idols, but the embodiment of retribution. How did you draw them here? I didn't. There was a big mirror, but I didn't even touch it. There is only one mirror of which you could be speaking. That used by the goddess Nyx to contact the Fates. Using the mirror would not have brought the Furies down upon you. Not unless the Fates themselves decreed it. I don't care what brought them. They killed Freddy. You need to help her. I have no power over life and death, Grace. None of us have that. This was no defense or spell of the reliquaries. I do not have the power to summon the Furies, and I know none who do. You should consider yourself fortunate, Grace. They do not desist until retribution has been exacted. But now is when you leave. Pray the knowledge you obtained was worth the price.
Persephone, we can't just... There must be something we can do.
She made her choice, Grace.
No! It's not right!
Come. There's nothing more to be done.
Every goddamn time. I've done a full playthrough about 5 times. Every goddamn time.
I'm sorry it came to this, Grace. It's clear what your friend meant to you.
It should have been me, not her.
Don't say that.
This was my fight, my problem. I'm already slated to die. If anyone paid the price...
Your friend gave you the chance to not repeat history. Don't waste it. Grace, is that how Calliope died? Was she also attacked by the Furies? Do you remember?
Yeah. She meant to use the mirror, but she never had the chance before they came.
No doubt sent by the same person. Perhaps for the same reason.
Who could send the Furies after me? Even Hecate had no idea who possessed that kind of power.
No one does, not these days. Hecate herself would have been my guess. Zeus might have, in his role as king of old Olympus, but he is long gone.
Clearly someone can do it.
Unless they weren't summoned. They could have been responding to something you did unwittingly, something Calliope also did. And what that could be? I'm afraid I have no clue.
If the Furies are so powerful, why did they stop? They just stabbed Freddy and left.
They're not assassins, Grace. They exist to punish. They demanded blood, and blood was taken. It didn't need to be yours.
So if Freddy hadn't interfered...
They wouldn't have rested, not ever, until they had their due.
I know Calliope was there to use the mirror, but it was just feeling. I still don't understand why.
There's only one use for that mirror, to speak to the Fates.
Yeah, okay, but why?
The Fates know all that is or will be. Destiny is theirs to command, or so it's said. One contacts them either to know one's fate, or to change it. Not that the Fates are likely to oblige.
Can these Fates really control the future?
They control the fate of all beings. I imagine it's they who give Apollo his powers, and they who write Hecate's books.
So someone really didn't want Calliope messing with them.
Or you, it seems.
Could it have been the Fates? Maybe they don't like being called on now for anything.
They're not known to be vindictive. If they don't want to answer, they simply won't.
I don't know what to do. We still have no idea why Calliope wanted to talk to the Fates.
Well, there is another way to ask them.
I wondered how long that would take. Hecate is enraged. She's threatened to close off the reliquary entirely and forever. Athena is beside herself.
How long have you been standing there?
Long enough. You just had to keep pushing, didn't you? Until you got what you wanted.
This isn't about me. We're out of options, Apollo, and you know there's only one other way to contact the Fates.
Oh, how convenient.
Enough, both of you. This isn't helping anyone.
May I explain it to Grace, or do you have another option, Apollo? If so, now's the time. I thought not. The Fates will respond to the ruler of Hades, the true underworld and realm of the dead. What I propose is that we go there and take back the throne that was stripped from me.
Is that something we can do? Just go to the land of the dead and, overthrow it?
Truth be told, there isn't much to overthrow. Few mortals still believe in Hades, and thus its halls have been nearly empty for eons.
So how do you...
The throne itself is the key, both symbolically and literally. Claim it, and Hades is yours.
But you can't claim it because you're barred from Hades.
By a rule that we would need to break were we to do this, yes.
Well...
So if we go to Hades and, find your throne, how much trouble would that get us into, exactly?
A great deal.
It's not as if Athena could execute Grace a second time.
But she's already been warned about breaking more rules.
The responsibility of this will be mine. Let Athena try to take my throne again.
Is there really no other way to talk to these Fates? Do we have to take the nuclear option?
Do you want to try going back to the reliquary?
No. No, hell no.
The only other person with a direct connection to the Fates is Apollo here.
You know it doesn't work like that.
Then it's the throne or nothing, isn't it?
Is Apollo right? Is this something you planned all along, Persephone?
Meaning what? What, that I knew what would occur at the reliquary? Perhaps you think I'm the one who unleashed the Furies upon you.
You've waited for this opportunity for over a century.
Waited, yes. Bided my time. And the moment has arrived.
But that's not why you originally agreed to help me?
No, that's not why.
How do we get to Hades? Do we need a key, like the reliquary?
Athena took my key, and the entrance at Lake Avernus was sealed long ago, which leaves only Hermes.
They won't take you.
They might, if you ask them to. Then why did you come, Apollo? To gloat? To wish Grace well? Or to actually help? Get us there. I'll lead us to the throne, and Grace can speak with the Fates. It's simple.
Oh, it's another crazy plan, right?
Grace.
I know, but there's no point in stopping now, is there?
I can't. I'm sorry, but this is a step too far.
And consider this, Apollo. Grace's mortal friend was slain by the Furies, according to the old laws.
Her soul is in Hades.
Wait, what? Freddy's in Hades? What? Persephone, why didn't you lead with that?
I didn't want it to seem like I was playing on your sympathy, Grace.
But you'll play on mine. Fine. I'll get you into Hades. But I'm not going with you.
Okay.
If that's what you prefer, by all means.
It's fine, Hermes. Get this over with.
I hate you, Andy. No, I don't really.
Shall I wait here, or...?
No. I'm not gonna lie to them. Hermes has always treated me fairly.
Oh, hey, if it isn't Apollo and Grace and, Persephone. Wow, the whole gang, huh?
I'm afraid I have to call in that favor. I need you to take Grace and Persephone to Hades.
Oh, man, I don't know. Athena specifically said I wasn't supposed to take anyone, you know? No matter what.
This is pointless. They're never gonna help us, Apollo.
Can I ask what's going on? Nobody ever tells me anything, and you want me to get in huge trouble, but for what?
Freddie's dead, Hermes.
What? When did that happen?
She was killed by the Furies. That means she's in Hades. Probably. I have to try to find her there. You're her friend too. I know you wouldn't want to abandon her.
Okay. Signal when you need to come back.
You sure?
Yeah, feels like the right thing.
Be careful, Grace. And remember, the underworld doesn't give up its shades without a price.
I think I can tell her the rules, Apollo. Let's go.
Well, this is...
Welcome to the real underworld.
Wow. It feels so empty. So lonely.
It's not completely empty. Neither is the throne, for that matter. A bitter shade named Orpheus has been squatting on it since my exile. I fully expect he'll be waiting for us.
Who is this Orpheus? The name sounds familiar.
It should. His is a popular tale among mortals regarding how he once came to the underworld to retrieve his love, Eurydice, and left with nothing. Hades tricked him, you see, and with Hades dead, the blame has evidently fallen to me.
So he's not a fan of yours?
He is not a fan, no. Not that it matters.
Well...
Okay, so there's an angry ghost sitting on your throne. Anything else about this trip you've neglected to mention?
Come. It's time to cross the Styx. The ferryman will come soon. As we are not dead, you will need to convince him you are worthy of passage. State your case clearly and with determination.
Okay. Bet. Yeah,
I am Persephone, also known as Despoina and Kore Sotiera, once queen of the underworld, and shall be again. No, Corone, I did not bring you any cards. I am not here to entertain you.
Hey there! I'm Grace, idol and last of the muses. Is that enough?
Of course she's a muse. Why would she lie about such a thing? He says he's always liked the muses and that you're very pretty.
Thank you.
No, she didn't. Neither of us brought games to play with you, Carone. Stop asking.
You know, you're adorable and scary.
Oh, I'm sure we can come up with something to amuse him. See? You don't even need to interpret that for me.
Yes, what fun. Thank you for encouraging him.
You're welcome.
Let's get underway, Carone. It's a long ride to the throne room.
I wouldn't touch that. Way too much for you. Overload you. Blow a fuse. Every story, every memory winds up here in the water. I used to dream that this river would rise, swallow the anger, tears in my eyes. Then suddenly I was found alone. I destroyed Hades, but was denied his throne.
Dead here, isn't it?
Everything here is fading away. She needs her queen.
We're here for Freddy, too.
I killed the king fair and square. They had no right to take it from me.
It wasn't your fault. There was no right or wrong. It wasn't your fault. You didn't belong. If my life was stolen, I wouldn't know where to turn. Candle isn't finished. It's a slow burn.
Someone's coming. There's music floating through. Someone's coming. And it has me singing too. We have visitors. I think we all know what to do. To the throne room. This bard's about to meet a muse.
There's someone singing with us.
That would be Orpheus.
Is he a muse?
Oh, he's so much more than that.
Someone's
I didn't belong here.
A wolf is waiting in the
But
tree.
that throne belongs to me.
Coming.
No one deserves
I
it.
can feel them howling at the moon.
Don't forget why we came here.
There's a name here
I won't forget.
that reeks
But you
of
can
an
bet he
enemy.
knows someone's coming.
It's about time, Persephone.
Orpheus, I've been.
What happened to the music?
I have been waiting for you, Persephone, for so long. And you brought a muse. Hi. Lovely tune, by the way. Can't remember the last time I collaborated with someone so talented. No offense, Benny. Welcome to my underworld. Let me treat you to a song.
Anthony Rapp.
A welcome gift.
Yes,
I have
please.
the floor. It is mine, after all. Muse. Any requests? Questions?
What's your problem with Persephone?
Do, 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 loop it. Do, do, do. I didn't do what I was told, didn't know that it was all a game. I didn't think that he would do it. Then Eurydice was gone. And Persephone stood right beside him and said, what a shame. He was always gonna kill her and you knew it. And I never got to have my revenge. My pain never ends. I see you now. Persephone won't turn my back. Won't turn my back. Turn my back on you again.
It wasn't your fault. How are you to react? It wasn't your fault. Now there's no turning back. If my love was taken, I wouldn't know where to turn. Your candle isn't finished. It's a slow burn.
This tete-a-tete is over. If he's the victim, what am I?
Queen, let's not lose our composure. The muse understands.
Well, I won't comply. I'd rather die. The throne was stolen after I murdered the king. You should be grateful and thank me for everything. And yet you scream like a boy. You kick the ground. I was a slave.
Eurydice is gone because you did nothing.
Orpheus, there was nothing I could do.
I saw your whispers, poison behind your king.
It wasn't me.
If I cannot have my revenge, you're the next best thing.
Orpheus, instead of a life of despair, Hades would have ended you there. This place would still be humming.
Oh, I rather doubt that.
Doesn't make it any less true.
I'm high. Am I the one on trial now?
It wasn't your fault. You were never to blame. Hades was a monster. We were a part of his game. Orpheus, where's your fire? When will the music return?
The candle isn't finished. It's a slow burn.
It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn.
That throne doesn't belong to you, and you know it.
If I didn't do what I was told, I'd be dragged across the palace floor. Hades can't hurt us anymore. But Eurydice is still gone. For what it's worth, you've my apology. But I assure you, nothing more. For deep down you know that there's no revenge.
The pain never ends.
The pain never ends.
There's no revenge.
This was never gonna end the way you wanted to. And I won't turn my back. I won't turn my back on you again.
I had forgotten how sweet a melody could be. Such thoughts become clouded in this place. Forgive me, my lady of the night.
An empty chair for an empty kingdom.
It doesn't sound like it brings you anything but bad memories.
Perhaps you're right. All the reasons I wanted it are long gone now.
Yeah.
Feel better?
Yes. That makes what I have to tell you all the more difficult, however. I lied. Even if we could find Freddie, you couldn't bring her back. The laws of death are not so easily circumvented.
And the fates?
They will not help you or anyone. Even if you could speak to them, they will not care. And never have.
You didn't once consider telling me? I might have helped you regardless.
You, perhaps. But Apollo? I suppose we'll never know.
That's it then. We came here for nothing.
I doubt the fates would have responded even to the mirror, Grace. And the boundaries of death cannot be commanded away. Not even by the ruler of Hades.
Which you weren't gonna share. Not while you still had a shot at sticking it to Hades.
At the very least, I had hoped we might find your friend's spirit.
Why? We can't bring her back.
Not without great sacrifice, no. No, the rules of death are clear. Yet, you might have spoken to her. I know what it's like not to get the chance to say goodbye.
Hey.
Freddie!
Freddie, you're here.
Yeah, I've actually been watching you since you arrived. It's not like there's much else going on.
Fred,
No, don't even start, Grace. I made my decision. I don't regret it one bit.
You shouldn't even have been there. I never should have gotten you involved.
Hey, no. You didn't get me involved. I got myself involved.
And look what happened.
I got to be the hero of the story. Just for one shining moment. How cool is that?
This isn't a story, Fred.
Huh? You're wrong. It is a story. And you need to finish it. Without me. Hey, no.
I guess this is it, huh?
Almost. I found someone while I was down here. Someone you really need to meet.
Calliope? You can't be real. Your soul is inside Grace.
My Eidolon is inside Grace. The rest of me... I'm here, Persephone.
This is real.
We need to know what happened to you, Calliope. How did you die?
Why didn't you come to me? If you were in trouble, I would have protected you.
I know you would have. But I couldn't let you be drawn into Apollo's prophecy as well.
Apollo's prophecy?
He didn't tell you? No. I don't suppose he could have.
It's a long story.
You don't mean to say that Apollo is responsible for your death, right? But his prophecy is.
Yes. It said I needed to die.
Someone else knew about the prophecy. Athena.
No.
Then she sent the Furies after me when I went to the reliquary. I barely escaped. I fled back to the mortal world. To you.
Why did you go to the reliquary? We know about the mirror, but...
You wanted to annul the prophecy.
And the Fates are the only ones who could, if they would even help me. I doubted it, but I was desperate. I never got the chance to ask. Someone told Athena where I was going, and she must have realized what I meant to do.
But how did she get the Furies to attack you? They aren't pets. You didn't break any of the old laws.
I don't know. Maybe it's something the ruler of the idols can do. But you'd have to ask Athena.
You went to Pan for the key to the reliquary, right?
Yes. He's the reason I knew about Nyx's mirror, actually. He told me about it long ago.
He told Medusa where you went. She, I expect, told Athena.
Oh. Pan couldn't have known what it would mean. I didn't explain.
That's it. You forgive him, just like that.
I'm sure he feels guilty enough, my love.
Why come to me? Of all the places you could have run to, why come to my apartment?
Because I was dying.
But I couldn't save you. I barely even knew you.
I was wandering the streets that night, wondering if I should go to the reliquary or just flee. And I heard you singing. I followed you home after to see where you lived. I didn't know what would happen to me, but I thought, just in case, I knew I had to hold out until I reached you.
I don't blame you, in case you're wondering.
You don't?
You didn't ask for all this to happen. You did the best you could, Calliope.
Thank you for saying that, Grace. Truly.
Well, I guess we're stuck with it.
Apollo hates using his power. Why would he have given a prophecy to Athena?
Because she demanded it. She was desperate.
How did you even find out?
Apollo was horrified after he delivered the prophecy, and he refused to stay silent. And he came to warn me. He was torn. Telling me meant I was locked into it. I still think he did the right thing. Though I expect he disagrees.
What was the prophecy? Surely I need to hear it.
If I tell you, you'll be locked into it. Just like me.
But the prophecy doesn't just say you have to die. There's more to it, right? They always require interpretation.
Apollo told Athena that. He begged her not to jump to conclusions, but maybe she was right.
It doesn't just involve you, does it? It involves me. It must, or you wouldn't hesitate.
Athena wanted to know if there was a way to save the idols. The answer was this. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives.
And I'm the last muse.
And now you know the prophecy.
That's it then. Now we know the whole truth.
We need to confront Athena. Apollo, too, for not telling us what she'd done.
If he had, Grace would have been locked into the same fate as Calliope.
We don't know that.
It isn't fair, Freddy. This isn't how it's supposed to go.
So many years of history, the fights, the highs, the miseries. I'm so proud of you, but it's time to go. I never truly saw before how trapped we were, so far from shore. Great at the time, but it's time to go. It's time to go. Will I know where to go without you to guide the way across the storming seas? I've had a compass bright and clear. Listen to me when I say, whatever path from which you think you strayed, you will find your way. But it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. It was quick and so was I. I was not prepared to die, but Grace, I choose this, and I know you'll get by. It's time. So many years of history, the fights, the highs, the miseries. I'm so proud, Grace.
Freddy, I gave everything to watch you go. I know.
Now it's time to go. It's time to go.
You've returned. And I see Freddy isn't with you. I'm so sorry, Grace. Did you at least get to speak to the Fates?
No.
Then what happened?
Then we found Calliope.
Calliope, but her Eidolon is inside you. How
It doesn't work like that. The Eidolon is only a part of an idol. The rest just...
Calliope told us what happened. The prophecy, how you warned her, how you've been lying to us. You knew. You knew the truth this entire time, even when you said you were helping Grace.
Yes. Yes, I did.
You were trying to protect me, right? You didn't want me to share Calliope's fate?
I thought I could nudge you in the right direction. Help you find the truth without learning about the prophecy.
Well, you failed. We know it now.
Then it's done. You're locked into it.
Isn't the prophecy open to interpretation? Couldn't you be wrong about how it ends?
When am I not wrong, Grace?
That's right. Leave. It's what you're best at. I don't know how this will affect your trial. We could tell them what we've learned. Even without proof, it makes enough sense that Athena couldn't just brush it off. But if she believes you need to die in order to save the idols, if she truly believes that, it won't matter what anyone says.
Look, about what happened in Hades.
Which part? The part where I gave up what I've always wanted? Or the part where I used you just to get there? The truth is out now. For everything. It's freeing, in a way. I intend to keep my promise. We go to the trial and I'll help you, even if it means overthrowing Athena. Calliope would approve.
So
but what about...
Just so you understand, our chances aren't good. I suggest you do whatever necessary to prepare.
Great.
No, I'm not giving up on this conversation.
It's been difficult, looking at you and knowing a part of her was inside you.
Giggity.
At first, when I thought you might have actually killed her, I was enraged. But I'm the one I should be angry at. I drove Calliope away. I wasted all that time being stubborn. And now she's gone.
Well...
That's why you pulled away from me, isn't it? At the club. You look at me and see her. Even after Hades.
It's not that simple, Grace.
So what is it then? Tell me.
I don't know if I can do this. Us.
That's the first time you've admitted there even is an us.
I keep wondering, do I like you because of you? Or because Calliope is a part of you? As you gain her memories, will you become more and more like her? Will you think of me as she did? You deserve more than that, Grace. I wouldn't blame you if you wanted no part of it.
And what if I still want this? Us? What then?
I'd say you were a glutton for punishment. Is it any easier out there? Do you miss being immortal, Grace?
Miss a life of drudgery? Sure to end in death? Hell no. Even with the trial, this is still better.
Then you made the right decision in Hades.
I don't know. I guess so.
I imagine the choice will haunt you, won't it?
No, I don't think. Well, let's go check in on Apollo, our little sad boy.
Oh, it's you. Paul comes in, mopier than his usual mopey self, and won't say a word about why. But of course, it's you.
Look, I know you care about Apollo. I'm not here to hurt him.
Uh-huh, yeah. And, why should I believe you?
Because I know he did what he did with the best of intentions.
That does sound like him, yeah. I guess I can go ask him if he wants to talk to you. Don't be surprised if he says no, though.
It's all right, Oracle. I think Grace and I need a moment alone, if you please.
Oh, sure. Don't mind me. It's not like I was in the middle of anything.
I didn't mean for it to end up this way.
I know. It's okay, Apollo. You have to stop torturing yourself over this.
I wanted you to find out about Athena without learning the prophecy. To be honest, I was relieved when you chose Persephone, even though I was worried she might lead you astray. When I first became Apollo, I was so sure I could help people. Help the world. I ignored the warnings. You have no idea how many lives I ruined before I stopped. I never should have given in to Athena. This one time, I thought that maybe it will be different.
You don't know everything, Apollo. Half the problem is that you and every other idol thinks they do.
What do you mean?
Trying to prevent the prophecy is what's making it come true.
So you want to, what, stop trying?
Maybe.
I hope you can forgive me, Grace.
There's nothing to forgive, Apollo. You did what you could for a friend. You didn't owe me anything.
I guess all that remains is the trial. Whatever happens, Grace, I'll be standing right there by you.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
We know it wasn't Pan's fault, so we should go make sure we touch base with him.
Pan? Are you here? Pan! All right then. Guess I'll just head off.
I thought you didn't want to see me anymore. You're not here to yell at me, are you?
Well, do you deserve to be yelled at?
Oh, I, wanted to apologize.
Apologize? To me? Well...
For thinking you might be behind Calliope's murder. Turns out that's not the case.
Oh, then you've learned something, haven't you? Something not exactly pleasant. I see. Isn't that always the way? Tell you what, Grace. Let's indulge in one last transaction. Relay what you've learned, and I'll see if I've any advice to offer.
Okay, where do I begin?
Well, of course it was Athena.
Wait, you knew?
No, how could I?
So what now?
Let the prophecy play out.
Huh?
Let it play out. It doesn't say the last muse will die, just that she must for the idols to continue. Perhaps the idols shouldn't continue. Seems reasonable enough.
I doubt Athena would agree. Or many of the other idols, for that matter.
Yes, well, if history says anything about the idols, it's that we're a bunch of reactionaries who make poor decisions. Frankly, change is long overdue. Continuing on as we have been isn't appealing, and I doubt I'm the only one who thinks so. I'm rather looking forward to the trial now. How exciting.
Well, nothing else to do. Let's go confront people.
So this is it. All your new friends have lied to you, but somehow they're gonna get you through the trial, right? I wish Freddy were here.
Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen. I'll embrace the fire as it burns deep inside, bright enough to guide me, an ocean defied. But as I burn, they've all turned away one by one. In the end, am I alone? Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold water, no star to be seen. In your heart, we're in vain. You do not sail in vain. In my heart, you remain. I do not sail in vain.
Okay, guys, we got this. We got this.
Okay, here we go. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, Grace, there you are. Everyone is already waiting for you on Olympus.
Athena, we really need to talk. Like right now.
There's nothing left to talk about, Grace. Whatever you have to say, you can say it at the trial. Welcome to Old Olympus, dear.
Can't say I didn't try.
Is this a real place?
It's the memory of a real place, which for us is the same thing. Let's begin, shall we?
Brothers, sisters, everyone, look around you. We few who remain fled to this new land to escape the war, but we are not out of danger. I waited to tell you until I was certain, and now I am. The idols are dying. It will not be long before even our immortality deserts us. The time for extreme measures has arrived.
How do you know it's true? How can you be so certain?
Each time we pass on our Eidolon, we become a little less. It is, however, not solely that. I have had Hecate researching the matter for decades, and her results are conclusive. We are diminishing. I am at this trial to tell you that, as always, I will look out for you. I will save you. Trust in me, Pallas Athena, daughter of Zeus and leader of the chorus, and I will do anything it takes to keep you all alive.
Liar.
You'll do anything? Tell them. Let them know what that anything includes. Tell them about the prophecy Apollo gave you, and how you've interpreted it. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives. Isn't that how it goes?
It's true.
We spoke to Calliope in Hades. She told us how you sent the Furies after her.
You couldn't have.
Yes, I could. There's more to an idol than just the Eidolon. Maybe you even knew that once, but you've forgotten it, just like all the idols have. You don't know everything, Athena.
No, I do not accept this. You are lying.
You're the one who's been lying. Or would you like to explain to the idols how you murdered Calliope based on a vague prophecy? Tell them.
Damn. Yeah.
Yes, it's me. It's me. Of course, it's me. The one who gets it done. Don't you see? It had to be. You all turn away when I got the fish. Then you cry, hooray, once it's on the dish. That's how we do this. Yes, we. Yes, you and me. I have always cared for you. I'll always do all these things for you. All these things that you are not prepared to do. You say you care, Athena, look around. The way you care grinds these idols down. From up above, you played your puppet show. You called it love. Athena, did you know you're turning them to ghosts?
sorry little bird. Time to ring your neck, little girls. Seems like a theme here. I grabbed the brass ring, but then what to do? A great shiny throne, but still in the darkness. Kill her today, and Athena, that's you too. Of course you would make it all about you. Still, Athena, I'm glad you were here to see how someone grew. None of you see. So it's down to me. It's fine. I'll take all the blame. I'll take all the pain. Think you see it all? You just see a scrap. You wanna make the call. You need to hold the map. You cloistered children. It's time for you and all who stand with you. Yes, you too. Form a queue. Time to follow through. Inside, somewhere inside, in that mind, there's a war. You're not sure. Don't be so sure. We're not the same, never the same. I didn't know how lost I was until you found me. I wasn't a monster to you. And now I'm not a monster to you. I was so low, I nearly withdrew. Now I'm here because she inspired me. Of course, it's me. Because of me, this prophecy would come to be. My Olympus is gone, and you're all looking on at a stranger wearing my face. My Olympus is gone. Now I'm some other one. Just how long has she been in place? You set off hoping you could get to somewhere right, but it's been too many years since the mainland was in sight. There was a voice in me that shouted,
Athena, you be strong. Be strong. No cost is great enough. It was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong, and now I don't know what the right thing is. I leave it up to you what to do with this.
I forgive you, Athena.
Look into me. I know what I see. Yes, a monster. I've met monsters who weren't monsters. I'm a monster to me. I'm sorry, Grace. I'm sorry, all of you. I wish Calliope could know it too. She does. She hears you.
Are you finished? You've been talking forever.
We're done, yes.
And? So you're in charge now, I'm guessing.
For the moment, but it appears we're about to have a repeat of what happened in Hades.
What does that mean?
It means we are disbanding the chorus. Not only that, we have decided to reveal ourselves to the mortal world.
You're planning to tell everyone what we really are? Isn't that risky?
It won't be right away, so those who are too fearful can go into hiding. But it's time. No more laws, no more secrets.
I have a few thoughts as to how you could go about revealing yourselves.
Oh?
If there's time, we could prepare a campaign.
A campaign? You make it sound like preparing for battle.
It is, kinda. The idols would be stars before you know it. If you're famous enough, there's only so much that can be done to you.
Now that is a marvelous idea indeed. I'd like a moment alone with Grace. Well, you did it, Grace. The trial has come and gone, and you're still standing.
We did it. I would have been lost if you hadn't stood beside me.
I'm still not entirely certain what possessed me.
Maybe you're not as cold-hearted and ruthless as you think you are.
How dare you?
Sometimes even idols are capable of change. You said it yourself.
When we last spoke, you told me you wanted things to continue between us.
Yes, please.
Now that things are finally resolved, I understand if you feel differently.
I want the lying to stop. No more hiding things. No more betrayals.
Well, then how will you know it's really me?
I'm serious.
All right. Done.
Then I can safely say, I don't feel any differently.
Ready to go out and face the music, Grace?
Always. Of course you're both here. In my apartment. Why wouldn't you be?
We were waiting for you.
How does it feel to be the Idol spokesperson, appearing on every newscast, reputable and otherwise?
I'm exhausted.
The Oracle has been keenly following your progress. She records every appearance, every interview. She may be your biggest fan.
The way she talks, you'd think she never doubted who you were.
Well, at least she's been of great help to your online campaign.
Everyone here has also been busy. Would you like to hear the latest?
Yeah.
Is there any word yet on Aphrodite and Eros? They left the city a while ago.
Eros sent word, yes. Aphrodite has started a spiritual retreat in the mountains?
Let's call it a cult.
Whatever it is, he says it's been helping her. Being the goddess of love to the world once more has at last brought her peace.
I thought for sure they'd go into hiding. Aphrodite fears mortals more than any other idol, doesn't she?
Hence why she surrounded herself with only those who shower her with adoration.
As I recall, sister, you also headed several cults across the centuries.
The Eleusinian mysteries weren't about shoring up my ego, Apollo.
What about Venus? Did she go with them?
The mortal? I don't believe so. Last I heard, she opened a gallery. Aphrodite's become her patron.
Venus has painted most of the idols. I sat for her last week, in fact. It's made her rather successful.
Good for her.
Has anyone heard about Athena? It's been a while.
I have. She left the city, as she felt uncomfortable with all the attention on the idols.
Terrified, you mean?
It was more that mortals expected the goddess of wisdom to have sage advice, and she no longer trusts her judgment.
No surprise there.
You don't still worry about her, brother, after all she's done?
I think of her off in the far north, living alone in the wilderness, punishing herself until the end of her days. I know it's her own choosing, but it seems like such a waste.
Is Hermes still around? I'm surprised they're not here with the rest of you.
Well, we've barely seen them of late.
Hermes has been busy. They've become a social media darling, or so the Oracle tells me.
The truly amusing part is that they're not even trying to be famous. They simply can't help it.
Hermes likes to people please, it's true.
Hopefully it won't backfire on them. Fame is a double-edged sword.
Hermes lives a charmed life. Never fear.
Well, it's odd seeing their face on so many billboards, but I agree. Let Hermes have their fun.
What about Hecate and Asterion? Are they still at the reliquary?
Hecate leave the reliquary? I'd sooner believe the sun would go out.
It doesn't hurt that they seem enraptured with each other's company.
Asterion is all Hecate is willing to discuss. Do I need to know every detail of his sexual prowess? I do not.
Didn't Hecate say it is written that she and the Minotaur would eventually break up?
Well, eventually, for Hecate could be centuries from now.
In the meantime, she gushes about her new boyfriend like a schoolgirl.
You should hear Asterion, then. His gushing puts hers to shame. I'm happy for them both.
What about Medusa?
And Medusa? I take it she's no longer at the reliquary.
She's staying with me, for now. You did promise my help with her curse, if you recall.
Oh, how's that going?
Better than I might have expected. I have a few old friends who owe me favors, and they're making headway. Medusa is positively giddy at the prospect. She offered to help manage the underworld as repayment, which I can't say I mind.
Hopefully she doesn't turn it into her personal buffet.
Not if she wants her curse broken. We have an understanding.
It's kind of you to take such a chance, sister.
Oh, I'm used to handling the odd snake. Frankly, we owe her the opportunity to try.
What about Pan? I haven't seen him since the trial.
No one's seen him.
Should we be worried? It is Pan, and what he does will reflect on us all.
Pan is harmless.
Mostly harmless.
As far as I can tell, he did regret his involvement in Calliope's death. He'll lay low, at least for a time.
He'll be back with some new scheme to make us all groan.
You're not wrong.
I know.
I'd like to know what you've been up to, Persephone.
I've been thinking about selling the club, actually.
The underworld? Really?
I don't need a substitute for the real thing. That's all it ever was, and I'm fine with having neither.
Plus, she's been busy helping all the idols remaining at Olympus. Quite unexpected.
Why is it unexpected? I was the last leader of the chorus. This is my responsibility. Also, I wanted to free up some of my time. For you, Grace.
For me?
You've been on the road single-handedly keeping the idols afloat. I thought you could use some company.
Being away from you so much has been the hardest part. I would love that.
And you were worried how she'd react.
I wasn't worried, I was concerned. Anyhow, I'm glad you agree. It'll be good to try something new again.
What about you, buddy? Little sad boy.
What about you, Apollo? Still planning on leaving the city?
Soon, I think. All the attention on the idols is proving rather taxing.
Ooh, running away again, brother.
I suppose you could say that. Really, I just came by to see Grace and apologize one last time.
I told you you don't need to keep doing that.
Yes, well, I'm glad things worked out as they did. You'll all be fine without me.
You know, one day you will learn, brother. Not today, but someday.
Well, that's...
I still can't believe it's all over.
Oh, it's scarcely over, Grace. Now that you've toppled the castle, it's barely just begun.
Oh, I didn't do that.
On the contrary, you absolutely did.
Perhaps we should leave you alone, Grace. You must be tired from your trip.
Perhaps a round of drinks at the underworld, in Calliope's honor.
I'd like that, actually.
Apollo, perhaps we could meet you there?
Yeah, of course. I'll go on ahead.
Someday I'll romance the sad boy.
I have something I'd like to say.
Oh, yeah?
Moving forward often comes with heartbreak, leaving the fears you nested in. Take your broken pieces and assemble a life that you are proud to live. We stayed your execution, you and I, you and I. I was queen of the underworld, and you, Grace. You've shown me that I'm not all I can be, a light to lead the way from hell. Darling, when you dare to defy me, God's the fire within me swells. You and I, Grace. grace, together victorious. There's nothing to stop us now.
Oh. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you sticking it out with me, making it to the end. Friday, we will be doing Fortnite Friday, as always, with the Unmute crew, so feel free to swing by and watch. I'm going to go ahead and end now, but let's see. One of my buddies is streaming, so I'm going to go ahead and raid over to there. I'd love it if you could stick around, show them some love. Beth is amazing. And, love to see ya. Thank you again, and have a great rest of your night, guys. Thank you so much.